Hey everyone, I'm Ryan, you're watching 16 Cycle Hum, and in this video, I'm gonna mess around with the 2 Notes Audio Engineering Torpedo C.A.B. M. I'm gonna call it the C.A.B. M from now on, just because it's easier. So anyways, what am I gonna show you about this thing? What does it do? If you'd asked me that question a week ago, I probably would have said, I think it's like a cab simulator box. It's like an impulse response loader thing. And that's true. It is, but it brings a lot more to the table. Yeah, it does cab sims. Yeah, it has mic sims. Yeah, it's got a reverb in there to simulate a physical space that the virtual cab is in. But you've also got a pre and a power amp that lets you swap out tubes and try all kinds of different settings, triode, pentode, whatever you want. It's also got some post effects. It's got a 5-band EQ that's very tweakable, and it's got an enhancer that'll let you really fatten up your chugga-chuggas or add some sparkle to your strummies. It also has a gate. It has a built-in gate and a built-in tuner, and I'm sure there's other stuff I'm missing right now. So let's get into it. Let's talk about why I'm excited about this thing, how I'm going to end up using it in the real world. I play at church. And when I play at church, I like to run into the front of the house. I don't like to haul amps around with me anymore. I like to just have everything on my pedal board ready to go, plug in an XLR or a line out into a direct box and be all set, and I monitor it through in-ear headphones. So something like this is very attractive to me and very useful to me. I've been using all kinds of products over the years. Recently been using a Strymon Iridium. Before that, I was using an HX Stomp from Line 6. Before that, I was using a Solid Studio from NUX or Nux. And before that, I was hauling amps and mics and everything. So anyways, I'm definitely on a path of plugging in direct and skipping all the amps and everything. So yeah, this is fully on brand for me. I'm going to demonstrate this by showing off 3 presets that I made. First of all, a church/ambient preset, because of course, that's how I'm going to use this for the most part. And I also dialed in a surf/twang setting, because you know me. You know I like that surfy stuff. And then, just for kicks and giggles, a metal setting that I'll throw some high gain at and show off what it can do in that sort of world. All right, let's get started here with the church setting. I've got a Vox AC30 style cab here. The Voice 30 is the name of the cab patch. I have a PP KT 88 tube selected on pentode, a ribbon 121 in front of the cab, a dynamic 421 behind, and I don't have the EQ or the enhancer on, but I do have a little bit of reverb. This is totally dry, no pedals on right now. I'm using my Jennings Navigator, classic T-style loadout, butterscotch teletone. By the way, I'm using the desktop software to edit everything here. You can get into all of the options here, straight through the pedal. So, see, I can adjust the EQ here, and it does the exact same adjustment on the pedal itself. Just so you know what's going on. No, I'm not cheating you or trying to trick you. Let's try turning some stuff off to see, just how this is affecting the signal. Turn off the preamp. Turn off the power amp. Turn off the mic that's behind the cab. Oh, gotta turn that EQ off too. Turn off the reverb. Now that's just a single mic on a single cab. Bring back in the preamp. Bring back the power amp. Bring back that second microphone. That second mic is really the magic right there. And then the reverb. Let's throw a tube screamer at it. And a delay. let's start tweaking some stuff now. I'm going to put that tube screamer back on. Let's turn off the reverb. We'll try the triode setting on that virtual tube. Back to pentode. I just prefer pentode. Dime the gain on the preamp, see what happens. It's not really a drive gain. It gets a little bit gainy, but not really. It's more about saturation. We'll put it like 60%. Try a few different tubes here. There's a contour knob, which is very effective at making it either sound kind of thin and clear, or really just beefing the heck out of it. Tube screamer back on. Show off what the mics are doing. Here's that front mic. Here's the back mic. In the software, it's super easy to visualize what you're doing with the mics. You can just grab it and drag it around. There's a variety of mics to choose from. I'm on the Ribbon 121 for the front mic. Now let's check out some of these post effects. The reverb. You can switch between room and ambiance. Let's dime up the wet mix so you can really hear what's going on. Here's a room setting. I'm not going to show off all of them to save time, but you've got crypt, you've got a cathedral, a plate, a spring, like a studio spring. It's not a drippy spring. A tile. You know, everything I record kind of sounds like I did it in the bathroom, so that would be appropriate for me. A chamber. It looks kind of like a prison or a bunker or something. Custom, which looks like a parking garage. Studio A, Studio B, basement, loft, Hall A, and the one I like, Hall B. Just feels like it gives it a little bit of space to breathe in. Now the EQ. I mean, this is self-explanatory. You could go super extreme, scoop, everything resembling a mid. What a bad idea. Or you could get more subtle. Pull out a little bit of your lows, boost a little bit of your mids, pull out a little bit of highs. You know, just doctor it a little bit. Then there's the enhancer. This is where you can add just a ton of sparkle. Or just fat, heavy, heavy thickness. There's plenty of ways to get yourself in trouble with all the settings on here. I'll scroll through some of the cabs. I'm going to dial in kind of a mid-gain sound here, just to show them off a bit. I've got it set to just the cabs that are available stock on the Torpedo. You can also turn on online and computer and access all kinds of, just hundreds and hundreds of cabs. It's ridiculous. Or you could load your own impulse responses here in the software. All right. I mean, a lot of these are not great for, you know, the praise and worship sound I have dialed in now. But some of them work very well. Kinds of tweaky stuff you can do. Let's switch over to one of my other patches, the surf patch. Change guitars for something more appropriate. I have a feeling I'm gonna need that tuner. Yeah, I might as well give it a check. You can access the tuner through the knobs here. You could potentially use this as a tuner pedal on your pedal board and ditch the other tuner that you have. You just have to do a little bit of a dive with the knobs. There's no, foot switch here. So this is the setting I have for a surf guitar sound. Throw on a bit of reverb from the Milkman f-stop. these Fender cabs on here, these Fender style cabs, do a great job of capturing that character that I want from like a surfy amp or like a vintage style Fender amp. It has the twang, it has that hollow feel. To me, it sounds like I've got a mic on a twin reverb, you know, in a different room or something like that. And I'm playing in a studio, and that's exactly what it's trying to be. This is supposed to be a Silverface twin reverb, which is actually the model of amp that I used to record my band's album years and years and years ago. It kind of just sounds like coming home. I'm running the PP6L6 tube on here, ribbon 160 in the front, and a Dyna Bass 52 behind the amp. Let's put the reverb back on. See what those sound like isolated. The front mic with the back mic just fills it out a bit. Here's that back mic isolated. Makes it feel more 3D, you know? Let's try a few different Fender cabs that they have loaded. The Tweed, a Luxe Tweed Deluxe. That was a little sloppy, but it was still fun. Sounds great. A Silver 10. A Vibrolux. And back to the 77. And there's a lot more that you could buy online if you want extra, and I do. I want to buy the Fender pack, I think. They have Princeton sounds on here. The preview is going to fade in and out of volume. Yeah, that's the Princeton. Now, I'm not likely to use this with my surf band. It's probably just not going to happen because when you play in a surf band, you want to be loud and you want to use big amps and stuff like that. But for recording purposes, giving me, you know, tastes of a lot of different cabs, a lot of different sounds, classic sounds, and a room to experiment in, I like it. I'm pretty excited about it. All right, let's go to the metal setting now, because of course we're going to do the metal setting now. It warrants another guitar change. Nothing on the pedal board right now. Humbucker setting on my Harley Benton Fusion 2 here. You might notice there's no distortion at all. That's because there's no distortion in the CAB M. The distortion's on my board coming from the Rev G4. the idea. I could stack the tube screamer in front of that too. You can hear that gate. Well, you can't hear the gate, and that's the point. It completely crushes all the noise. All right, let's check out some of the options I have here. I'm running a PP-EL84 on pentode. Here it is on triode. Thicker. I like the pentode. Turn off that gate for a second. Yep, there's the noise again. A condenser 87 in front, a ribbon 160 in back. Here's just the front. Here it is with the back. Oh man, it beefs it up big time. Here it is with the front off. And together again. Mixing mics is where it's at. Oh man, it just makes all the difference. All right, let's throw on some EQ. A little bit of mid scoop there. Take it off. Enhancer. This is really going to show this off. I didn't know where I was going with that. You get the idea. It enhances. Let's try a few different cabs for fun. Hold on. Oh, that sounds massive. Let's try that with fuzz. Yeah, Uber. A little bit of Eddie there for the Eddie cab. A Gretsch. And we're back where we started. Again, you can go online and purchase just hundreds of amps, especially in the 4x12 and 2x12 sections. I mean cabs, not amps. You know what I mean. Okay, so when it comes to metal, I'm not in a metal band. I'm not going to play metal. And if I do, it's going to be, you know, curiosity every now and then. But this gives me a lot of options to experiment, to try different stuff, to window shop. I think that's really the strong point of these kinds of concepts. Multi-effect pedals, IR boxes and whatnot. Virtual simulations of spaces that you can have cabs and amps in and whatnot. Especially these days with everything being pretty, honestly, really capturing the sound and the soul of a lot of this stuff. I think it's great. I'm really excited to try this thing live with my church band and dial in some cabs that I think work well with my playing style and the band mix. One of the most powerful and effective things you can do with a product like this is, you know, take a look at your band, see when they're distracted, lean down, close your eyes and just scroll through all the different cabs or all the different mics. And when you hear something that jumps out of the mix, don't even look at the name of it. It might be some sort of crazy metal cab that you would never use in real life. But if it jumps out of the mix, you use that and you build your patch around it. And suddenly you've got a sound that jumps out of your band's mix without you having to turn up. Sitting in the mix without having to turn up volume, that's when you find magic. So I'm a big fan of the concept. I think there's really great execution here, especially using the software alongside of it to kind of visualize and understand what you're adjusting. Like when I was just scrolling through the menus, I was like, oh, I guess I kind of get it. But the software really brought it to life. You can also get a version on your phone that has all the same visualization and allows you to shop for cabs and whatnot and load them over Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, something like that. It uses one of those technologies. So you don't even have to plug in a cable or anything like that. You can just use it with your phone. What do you guys think? Comments down below. Do you think you have a use for this? I know I do. Do you have any questions? Ask them. Or, you know, email 2Notes if you have big technical questions. There's all sorts of different ways you can run this in a signal path. You can run an amp direct into it with a load box before it. This is not a load box. It cannot take a full load from an amp head. But you could probably figure that out on your own. But you could run an amp head signal into this after a load box and be a virtual cab in a studio or in a recording situation or something like that, or in a live situation if you want to. XLR out, line out, ground switch over here, auxiliary in if you need that. There's a little switch over here for line level. It's got a micro SD card slot up at the top for putting in more memory if you need to just load hundreds and hundreds of cabs and impulse responses. I think it's a great product. I'm stoked to use it in the future. I know I've already said that, but yeah. Like, subscribe, dislike, leave me rude, nasty comments, support us on Patreon. Thanks for watching this video, and stay grounded. Bye, everybody.